Before we even get started, pay close attention to what's happening right now. This isn't just a routine court appearance. A defendant's guilty plea was withdrawn, a PSI came back with a bombshell recantation, and now the whole case is being re-examined from scratch. This is what a second chance looks like in real time, and the question is, did Bernita Graham earn it, or is the system about to catch up with her?
Thomas, save the day.
Thank you. All right, ma'am, you're Bernita Graham?
Yes.
All right, so let the record reflect Ms. Graham's present with Ms. Holmes. Mr. Coleman is present. It looks like we were here before and Ms. Graham entered pleas of, well, let me see, are we?
We originally came and Ms. Graham pled true to the counts in the motion. There was a post-sentence, a PSI done in which Ms. Graham stated that she did not commit the offense. And so the last time we came to court, the court withdrew her pleas and set it for a hearing.
For the, on the motion. So
That's
we're
it.
here on the motion. So we're, got it. Let me get that pulled up. Thank you, Ms. Holmes. And with regard to the newer offense, no plea on it, or it was withdrawn as
It was
well?
withdrawn as well.
Everything was withdrawn. Okay. All right, so. And cause number 23, well, let me go ahead and go through that motion again. Ms. Holmes, will your client waive the formal reading of the motion?
Yes, sure.
So. Ms. Graham is on probation for state jail felony offense of credit debit card abuse. Looks like that probation was from December 12th of 2023. It was a 2-year term in the state jail prison that was probated for 3 years. And the allegation, 2 allegations. First is that she committed the new offense of credit or debit card abuse January 3rd of 2025. And then the second is that she's behind in her court assessed fees. So Mr. Coleman, are you ready to proceed?
The state's ready to proceed, Your Honor. Before we get going, I'd like to withdraw the second allegation about the fees. Given the information presented in the PSI indicating that the defendant is unemployed and also on Social Security, I'd like to withdraw that. However, I'd like to reserve my right to put that on as punishment evidence if the court finds that first allegation true. That makes
Okay.
sense, sure.
Quick legal breakdown. The DA just made a calculated move. He withdrew the fee allegation, the one about unpaid court costs, but he's not letting it go. He explicitly reserved the right to use it as punishment evidence if the first allegation is proven. Translation: if she loses on the new criminal charge, her inability to pay could still land her in prison. That's not mercy, that's strategy.
Thank you, Mr. Coleman. You may proceed.
The state calls Alex Hill, Your Honor.
Alex Hill. Good morning, sir. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you, sir. You can have a seat. Thank you.
If there are any potential defense witnesses in the courtroom, I can talk to them.
Ms. Holmes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And Your Honor, I'd also ask the court to take judicial notice of the court's file, including the PSI that was preparing these things.
I was going to tell you guys, everybody has that pre-sentence report. We've already gone over it.
Yes.
And there were attached to the pre-sentence report a looks like an evaluation or a letter at least from Dr. Canagati, as well as several letters of support that were sent over from Ms. Holmes. You received all of those?
Yes, sir.
And looks like there was also some medical records that were sent over as well as part of that. And have you all both had an opportunity to review those?
Yes, sure.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, you may, I'll take judicial notice of the rest of the court's file as well. You may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Would you please state your full name for the court reporter?
Alex Hill.
And Mr. Hill, how are you employed?
I work with Jefferson County Adult Probation.
And how long have you been with probation department?
I've been with the probation department 3 years now.
And part of your duties, do they include supervising defendants who have been placed on community supervision?
They do.
And did you have an opportunity to supervise an individual by the name of Bernita Graham?
Yes, sir, I do.
Have you been the supervising officer or probation officer for Bernita Graham for the entire time or duration of her probation?
No, sir, I haven't.
When did you take that over?
I began supervising Miss Graham in February of 2024.
And it's certainly you as a custodian of record for the probation department, you have access to all of her records and you have reviewed those records prior to testifying here today.
Yes, sir.
Do you see the individual in the courtroom here today that you come to know as Bernita Graham?
I do.
Would you please point to her and identify her by an article of clothing that she's wearing?
She's wearing a pink or purple blouse.
I asked that the record reflect the witnesses identify the defendant, Judge.
The record will so reflect.
And just to be clear, she's on probation for state jail felony, credit card or debit card abuse, right?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
He went on that 3-year probation starting on December the 12th of 2023, correct?
That's correct.
And you're familiar with the process by which each and every defendant is explained their conditions of probation when they are initially placed on probation, correct?
Yes, sir.
I mean, would it be fair to say that's a standard practice?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any reason to doubt that this defendant was not explained her conditions of probation when she was initially placed on probation?
I do not, no, sir.
In fact, her conditions of probation include, as do all conditions of probation, not violating any law or laws of the state of Texas or any other state, correct?
That's correct.
And just one final question, the defendant, what was the defendant's last known address?
The current address I have for Miss Graham is 4440 Gulfway Drive, apartment 224, Port Arthur, Texas.
I'll pass it, Mr. Church.
Ms. Holmes, any questions?
Just a few, Your Honor. Good morning, Mr. Hill.
Good morning.
Just a couple of questions in regards to Ms. Graham. You stated that you've been supervising her since February of 2024. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Okay, and while on supervision, has Ms. Graham has she come to all scheduled appointments, or have you had any issue with her reporting?
No, ma'am, she reports as instructed.
Okay, and you're aware that Ms. Graham has been diagnosed with breast cancer, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And she has provided that documentation to the department, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, every meeting, she provides me updated medical documentation.
Okay, and have you all been working with her to make sure that
Did you catch that? The probation officer just confirmed on the record that Bernita Graham has breast cancer, shows up to every single appointment, and provides updated medical documentation at every meeting. She is doing everything right under extraordinarily difficult circumstances, and yet here she is fighting to stay out of prison, whatever you believe about what happened at that auto body shop. That context matters. The stakes here aren't just legal, they're personal.
she maintains or stays compliant with probation while undergoing any not medication, but undergoing radiation or chemo?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so the only reason obviously we're here is because of the new allegation of an offense of credit debit card abuse. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes, ma'am.
And the process with probation, when there is an allegation of a new offense, is it the standard practice of the probation department to file a motion to revoke probation?
There's several options that can be done, but the court does need to be notified of any type of arrest of any kind.
Okay, and then once the court is notified, who makes the determination to file a motion to revoke probation?
The court ultimately approves the administrative hearing that is then sent to the district attorney's office, and they file that motion to revoke.
Okay, and did you all have an administrative hearing on this particular issue?
I believe it was just me and my supervisor. We completed it without the defendant present.
Okay, so Ms. Graham was not present at that time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and besides this allegation, you stated that Ms. Graham had been compliant, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Okay, thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
I have nothing further for Mr. Hill, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Hill. You're excused. You may call your next witness.
The state calls Brittany Morgan. Trying to do the paperwork on backs. Things like that. Oh.
Good morning.
Okay, here's where things shift. We're done with the probation officer. Now the state is calling their key witness, the woman whose wallet went missing. This is where the prosecution either builds or breaks its case. Ask yourself this. If you worked somewhere for 4 years and a customer stole your debit card, would you remember exactly what happened? Because what Brittany Morgan is about to describe is either damning, circumstantial, or somewhere in between. Let's find out.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. You can come sit, go right around and sit in that chair right there. And if you'll just do the best you can, speak loudly and clearly into that microphone so we can all hear you. And if it's a yes or no question, be sure to say yes or no, and not just a head nod or an uh-huh, so the court reporter can take everything down.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. You may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Would you please state your full name for the court reporter and spell your first name? We actually have a Brittany in the courtroom today with an IE. Want to make sure that you get Brittany correct spelling for your name.
Brittany Janelle Morgan, Brittany.
And how are you employed, Ms. Morgan?
At Groves Auto Body
How long have you been working for the Groves Auto Body?
for 4 years.
And that's located at 3301 West Parkway in Groves, Texas,
Yes,
Jefferson County. That's also located in Jefferson County, Texas.
yes,
And obviously, given the fact you've been employed there for 4 years, you were obviously employed there back on January the 2nd of 2025, correct?
correct.
Okay. And you went to work that day
Yes,
and then left for the day? You went to work, left for the day?
yes.
And then when you came back the next day on January the 3rd of 2025, what, if anything, did you discover?
That my wallet was behind the phone at the front desk. So I opened it up and my,
Let me unpack that. I want to make sure the judge understands. Is there any reason why your wallet would be at that front desk? Do you work at the front desk, or is there somewhere that you ordinarily would put your wallet?
no, it's not.
Okay. In fact, the last time you recall, where would your wallet have been?
In my purse next to my desk.
Okay. And your desk is not necessarily in that area where the front desk was, where you discovered the
No,
purse
it's not.
or the wallet.
No,
All right.
it's
And this,
not at the front desk.
can this be clear? Because I've been using these terms interchangeably when you and I've talked. We're talking about the wallet that was in your purse, all right?
My wallet was in my purse when I got to work that on the 2nd.
And then on the 3rd, it was discovered at the front desk behind the phone.
Yes,
Okay. And when did you look inside of that wallet to see what, if anything, had been taken?
I did.
What was taken?
My debit card and a credit card.
Okay. Let's start with the debit card. Was that a Nature's Federal Credit Union card?
Yes,
A device that authorized you as the card holder to either obtain property or services by debit?
yes,
And by doing so, you were authorized to use the account linked to the Nature's Federal Credit Union, and the Nature's Federal Credit Union being a financial institution, correct?
yes.
Okay. And what did you do next? When
I-
you found out it was missing?
I looked at my on my phone to pull up my bank account and I noticed there were charges that I did not spend. So I immediately left work and went to the bank and had them cancel my card.
Let's talk about those charges. Was one of those charges for at a Murphy USA located in Port Arthur, Texas?
Yes,
That's a gas station, right?
yes,
Okay. And that particular Murphy, did you make a purchase at that gas station on January the 2nd of 2025?
no, I did not.
And that, when you pulled up that statement or those transactions, did it show when the purchase was made and when it was ultimately authorized?
Yes,
When was it made?
the 2nd.
And when was it ultimately processed or authorized?
Yes,
On the 3rd?
on the 3rd.
Okay. Made on the 2nd, but it was processed on the January 3rd.
Yes,
Okay.
according to my bank.
Okay. And that particular Murphy USA gas station, it's located on Twin City Highway, right?
Correct. Yeah, that's right.
About, is it fair to say, what, less than 2-3 miles away from the shop?
Yes.
Okay. And what, if any other, what was another purchase that was on that card?
Sirius XM,
Now, do you have a Sirius XM account?
I do not.
Okay, and that was also made on January the 2nd and later authorized on the next day, January the 3rd of 2025.
Yes,
Now, you didn't make the Murphy gas station purchase, you didn't make the Sirius XM purchase. Was there any other attempted charges to that card on or about January the 2nd?
the smoke shop,
That would be the Smoke Corner located at 4101 Main Street in Groves, Texas.
yes,
Both the Smoke Corner and the Gulfway are gas station, are they both located in Jefferson County, Texas?
yes,
And that Smoke Corner, is it also about a mile, less than a mile away from the Groves Auto Body Shop?
yes.
Uh, May I approach the witness?
Yes, sir.
I am going to show you what I am marking as State's Exhibit number 1. Now, I'll ask you to take a look at it and tell me if you recognize it, please.
Yes, I do.
What do you recognize it to be?
My bank statement,
The statement that you pulled up when you noticed that your Nature's Federal Credit Union card was missing, right?
yes,
And does it reflect the charges that you just testified about?
yes,
Does it appear to be altered or have been changed in any way?
no,
All right. Is this what you screenshot and gave to the police?
yes,
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, State Officer States 1 for the record are tendering to the counsel. It's also been provided in discovery.
No objection, Your Honor.
States one's admitted.
Now, the Groves Auto Body Shop, is it equipped with some video surveillance equipment?
yes, it is.
And that video surveillance equipment, are you familiar with it?
Yes,
And is it capable of making an accurate recording?
yes, it's capable of making accurate recordings.
And as far as you know, was it properly operating back on January the 2nd of 2025?
Yes,
May I approach the witness, Judge?
Yes, sir.
I'm showing you what I will eventually mark as State's Exhibit number 2. But before I mark it, I'm going to ask you, for the record, for purposes of the record, what are we looking at? What kind of device are we looking at?
the USB,
And do you recognize this USB drive?
yes.
How do you recognize it?
I dated it and signed it and initialed this morning.
Okay. And you reviewed it this morning as well, right?
Yes,
Any reason to believe that this USB drive, the one you reviewed this morning, has been altered or manipulated, changed in any way?
no,
Fair and accurate copy
yes,
of the surveillance video from January the 2nd of 2025. Fair and accurate copy from January 2nd.
yes.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, State Officer States 2. I'll tender to defense counsel, but it's also been provided in discovery.
Yeah, if I could briefly take the witness on board.
Sure.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hi, Ms. Margie, just a few questions in regards to the camera system at Groves Auto Body. Are you the custodian of records over there? Do you handle video footage, any of that?
I don't handle it. I've been asked to pull up, like to be able to log in so someone else can do it,
Okay,
but I don't. I'm familiar with the system, yes.
okay.
We use advanced alarm systems
Okay,
and they come out whenever we need and pulled stuff up for us.
okay. And so when it comes to, I noticed that you stated that you initialed it this morning. Are you the person who copied the video at the time and provided it to the officer, or was that someone else?
No, I did not.
Okay, so you would be able to testify as to the authenticity of this because you're not the person who actually copied the video and reviewed it and provided to law enforcement. Is that correct?
I did not copy the video that's on there, no.
Your Honor, I would object that it states Exhibit 2 has not been properly authenticated as Ms. Morgan is not the custodian of records, and so the defense would object to the video.
Your Honor, I believe the proper credits, right?
That objection was not nothing. The defense just challenged the authenticity of the surveillance video, and it was a legitimate argument. Brittany Morgan didn't pull the footage herself. She couldn't confirm the chain of custody, but the judge overruled it, reasoning that Morgan reviewed the video that morning, confirmed it matched what she remembered, and that it hadn't been altered. In evidence law, that's called lay witness authentication. You don't always need a tech expert. You just need someone who can say, "Yes, that's what I saw."
I think the testimony, if I'm correct, was that she saw the video there and then saw that one and that they were the same and had not been altered, correct?
And yes, Your Honor, and to be clear, I mean, I don't know what this witness's definition of custodian of record is. I know we're throwing that term around, but obviously as an employee there, she's a custodian of record.
That objection's overruled. States 2 is admitted.
Commissioner Butler,
Yes, sir.
there's a screen behind you there, Ms. Morgan, if it's more helpful for you to refer to that. From time to time, I'll be pausing it and asking you questions. First of all, orient the judge, tell the judge, what are we looking at?
So right over here on the left side, that's the front desk. That is the first desk. The next one over in front of the copier, that's my desk, and that is my coworker Lupe.
Okay.
And
Who's standing at the front counter?
Miss Bernita Graham. She was picking her car up that day.
And for the record, do you see the individual here in the courtroom here today that you know is Bernita Graham?
Yes,
Would you please point to her and identify her by an article of clothing that she's wearing?
right there.
What kind of clothing?
She's wearing a pink shirt right now, and then
Oh, okay, no problem. Your Honor, I asked the record respect, but we just identified the defendant.
Record will serve.
I mean, you interacted with her or saw her on more than one occasion there at the body shop, correct?
correct.
I mean, why was that? Just to give the judge some background information.
Well, I don't work the front desk at this time. I didn't, but I would help if there was no one at the front desk. And my desk is up there, and so I'm up there all day when customers come in to drop off or come in to pick up.
And you guys have worked out some type of a payment plan for her, right?
Yes, correct.
To do what?
To pay her deductible.
All right. Because she didn't have the money up front, right?
She had some upfront, and then there was a payment arrangement made with the owner, George Gould, that she could pay it 30 days after the day of pickup.
That's not something that he had to do. It was something that he chose to do, correct?
Correct.
All right. Just for the record, I'm going to fast forward to about 1 minute and 27 seconds. Who's that? Just walk to the screen.
That's me.
Okay. We are, for the record, now at about 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Is that Bernita Graham there?
Yes.
What just happened there?
She walked from the front desk over to the copier by my desk.
Okay. Is that where your purse was located that day?
Yes.
Is there any reason, at least from a transactional standpoint, as far as while she was there that day, for her to have gone over to your desk or behind your desk?
No, not at all.
Now, I've watched it a couple times, you watched it a couple times. It's maybe kind of hard for the judge to see, and I'll have to run it back. In fact, I think I will, and just let her watch that. But what did it appear to you just happened?
That she stuck something in her sweater.
Okay. In fact, I'll just, without pausing it, I'll run it back and let the judge see for herself. Now, a mere matter of seconds, you walk back into your workspace, right?
Yes.
I mean, is it fair to say that had you showed back up 4 or 5 seconds earlier,
Yes.
you would have confronted her?
Yes.
Is it fair to say about 3 minutes and 27 seconds, she's back at that front counter?
Yes.
In about 3 minutes and 54 seconds, your coworker walks away and you're still sitting there at your desk, right?
Correct.
All right, let me pause for a second. What color was your wallet, or is or was your wallet that day?
Purple.
Purple. Now, we're about 4 minutes and 47 seconds into the video. It's a little hard to see, but what, if anything, appears to be in her hand?
My purple wallet.
We're at about 5 minutes and 20 seconds into the video. What does it appear is happening, or what does it appear that she's doing?
Putting my wallet on the front desk.
And is that the same location that you found your wallet in the next day?
Yes.
Let's zoom out for a second because what just happened is remarkable. We watched a surveillance video in real time walk us through an alleged theft step by step. The defendant moving to an area she had no business being in, something disappearing into her sweater, and a purple wallet appearing in her hand minutes later placed on the exact desk where it was discovered the next morning, missing its cards. The prosecution didn't need a confession. They had a camera. The question for the defense now is, how do you explain that?